Hey Max Impactors, it's Tim Rosanelli. I just wanted to give you a garden update. So let me turn around the camera and I'm going to show you what's going on in our garden. All right, so here we go. We're going to just start from one end to go to the other. This is my sweet potato bed. I got the sweet potatoes in. This year I just put this triangle bed. I used to just have a kind of a mound of dirt here, and now I got a triangle bed that I just put in. It looks really great, and I can't wait. You can kind of see some of my slips are really starting to take off. I think you're going to see them really take off this week because we're going to have our first 90-degree day, and they really like the hot weather. Okay, here's some of my squash plants, and the squash plants I have here so that they'll just grow out across the bed here. Some of our fruit trees, so you can see we have some apples in this one. We got some pears over here. And let's take you back. Here's my new strawberry bed. Oh, look at this. Here's a big tomato growing right here. I don't think we need that. But this is my new strawberry bed. I need to get 2 more rows of strawberries for this. I'm just gonna wait till runners come out. So there's gonna be 4 rows of strawberries in this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have another bed, and I plan on moving a lot of this stuff right here. And we're gonna have another bed here. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take runners from the bed over here, and then I'll put them over here. And then these are gonna grow. And then after that, I'm gonna take the runners from here, rip out the strawberries from this bed, and take the runners and replace them over here. Wow, look at that, there's some more weeds in here. A surprising number of weeds in my strawberries here. But we'll have to get out here later and weed. So let me take you around over this way. Okay, this is mainly a lot of daylilies in this garden right here. All right, and here's well, this is where our asparagus is. Now this was shaded a little too much last year, and we took out a tree, so they need another year to kind of get big enough. So we're not really eating them this year, but we are letting them get big enough. Here's my cucumbers. I always put my cucumbers on this rack. They're coming up really nice. This is one of our best years. Now here's my big compost bin. And I have to do a video on this someday talking about how I do my compost, but basically I have 3 bins here. Each bin represents a year, and I actually let them sit. So this year we use this bed. Okay, a year will go by, we'll use this one, and we're working on this bed, throwing stuff in it. But at the end of this year, usually when fall starts, I'm going to switch over to this bed and start filling this one, and then that one's going to sit for a year. Some of our pear trees. Okay, we got raspberries. It took us years to get raspberries, and finally we kept on having to replant them, but I guess we got a variety now that's doing really well. So they're just starting to get some raspberries. Oh, here's one right here. It's ripe. Really good. And here's one of our nectarine trees. I don't know. It seems like there must be some kind of secret formula for nectarines, because we've been growing this tree for years, and just all the nectarines kind of fall off. So we've been spraying it a lot so that the fungus won't kill them all, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's working out too well. Here's our new addition. So I think last year or a year before, I showed you a tunnel that we made for the blueberries, but this worked out a lot better. We got these things, and they're like little stakes that go into the ground. And then we got a better netting because we were having problems with birds getting stuck in the netting. So this is a better type of netting. And you just basically poke these into the ground and then lay the netting over. Now, I think we need a few more because of the distance here. I'd like to get another set of them so we have more. And then this part would stay, they kind of collapse because of the weight. So I want this to actually be up like this, but it kind of collapsed a little this year. I think if we get more, it won't collapse like that, but we are having a great year for blueberries. I mean, I picked some blueberries just a couple of days ago. I mean, with the rain and the intermittent sun, oh, look, we got even more over here. With the intermittent sun, we are just having a great year. Really good plump blueberries. Some of my herbs, chives, oregano. And then we're gonna go in here. I'm not really showing you the fruit trees or the nut trees I have too. I have a pecan tree behind us, but let me take you over. Our walnut tree is right here. Put that in a few years ago. Now it's producing really nice for walnuts. Now this year for our garden's probably been one of the best years, and I don't know if it's just the weather, because I do know it's been a little cooler in our area, but we also got the greenhouse, and I think the greenhouse had a big effect because my plants looked a lot healthier going in. I'm just starting to get some smaller zucchini. You can see back there. Okay, there's some zucchini coming in. Got corn. This is popcorn. We do popcorn, not regular corn. Corn, regular sweet corn, so easy to come by with all the farms around here. It's so cheap that we don't bother. We just buy it from the farmers. Tomatoes. Now this is interesting. I used to do tomato cages, and now I'm using a basket weave method. So you put these poles in, and you can see the string right here. And as it gets bigger, you bring the string up and around the other post, and then bring it back, and that holds the tomatoes for you. One thing I would do different though is I did 2 rows of tomatoes right next to each other. I think next year I'll do a row here, 1 row of tomatoes, and then probably in another bed do another row so they're separated, because they are a little bit crowded here. I think it would have been better if I just did this. I interplanted some basil, which is doing great. It's kind of like under this. And the other thing I'm doing different with my tomato plants is that I'm cutting it up to the bottom one. So I'm trimming it up a little bit more. Here's some herbs. We got some peas here. And here's our peppers. Got some artichokes. Swiss chard just looks great this year. Look at this, red and white. Here's our carrots, but we still have some turnips in between. Great kale. We've been eating kale every morning. We usually have omelets for breakfast and have some potatoes that we fry up with a little bit of kale in there. Here's my garlic. My garlic's actually garlic I planted for. I haven't paid for garlic for years. I just used last year's and then I replant it. And I did the same thing with shallots. We used to do onions, but my wife has trouble with the acids and onions a little bit, so we do shallots now because they're a little bit milder. We got some pepper plants interplanted here. These were nice. These were given to me by a student grandfather, and they're called aruba, and he says you have to be careful where you put them. He said if you put them next to hot peppers, they come out hot. If you put them next to sweet, they come out sweet. Some more of our kale. We not only eat the kale, but we have Angora rabbits, and we give some of the kale to the rabbits because they love the kale and it's healthy for them. Over here is my broccoli. Okay, this is cauliflower. This is called purple of Sicily. So these will probably make big heads in the fall. Behind here I have some cantaloupe. And my wife's Italian. She wanted to do some guguzza, so we're doing the guguzza. And here is my cabbage patch. Cabbage. I do early style cabbage. Look at this. This one's pretty much about ready to go. I do early Jersey cabbage, and I forget what this purple cabbage is, but I do the early Jersey because we have really bad cabbage worms here. And they'll eat these things, you know, coming up in July. They're going to be terrible. They'll probably eat these almost clean. So what I do is I get the early type and try to grow them in the greenhouse, get them big, so that I get them out of the garden early before those come out. And they'll be coming out in just a couple weeks, but I'll be done. Here's my lettuce. Now, I'm on my 3rd cut of some of this lettuce. So this stuff right here, okay, the red, and this is salad bowl and the Boston. You can see that they're on the third cut, so they're looking pretty rough. Some of them I'm not going to eat because it looks like some of them are starting to bolt. Um, Here's my, then I have my row of romaine. So I do a row of romaine and I don't cut that. I wait till they get full size and then I I take them out. Because what happens is these get done early and I do a few cuts of them. Then once these start to bolt, now I have some romaine left over. So that's pretty much what's going on in my garden. Oh, we got a few more things over here. Potatoes. So we don't really have very much room in the garden for potatoes, so I just use these fabric bags. And these are my potato plants. So I planted them at the bottom with a few inches of soil, and then as they grew, I threw more soil in them. And they're gonna give us a pretty good crop of potatoes here in a couple months. My wife, she got this I think it's corn. Yeah, it's corn, but it's pot. You put it in a pot. So these are actually made to grow on porches and stuff. So my wife wanted to try that out. Pretty cool. So I thought I'd throw it in these pots and see how it does. So that's pretty much our garden. I'll tell you, our garden. This is probably one of the best years for our garden yet. I mean, we have so much vegetables coming in. I've never seen I have this good of a start of the year. And I think part of it is the new greenhouse that we got. Instead of just trying to grow everything down in our basement under light, putting it into the greenhouse for a while really did a good job for us. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the video now. If you like this video, make sure you like it below, comment, let us know what you think, and let me know how your garden's doing. All right, and we'll see you in the next video.